Hey folks, I'm going to do the opposite video today since yesterday. Last time I did a video on signs that your interview went well. Today I'm going to talk about the signs that the interview did not go well. Obviously, some of these are just exact opposite of what I talked about yesterday, but it's good to know these signs, and then so you know you don't expect too much from the result of the interview. Okay, before I start, please subscribe to my channel because when I see people subscribing to my channels, I feel like somebody's getting some help from these, and that motivates me more to make more videos every day. So, all right, let's get started. First thing I want to say is pay real close attention to the last 30 seconds or the minute of the interview. What the interviewer says has clues embedded in it. For example, if the interview is no longer interested, it will be kind of like blah kind of way of ending the interview. He or she will not talk about the next steps so much. He or she might seem a little bored, that kind of thing. So that's a sign that it didn't go so well. Now, there are other signs that are stronger, right? Um, if the questions got easier over time, that's not a good sign unless the interviewer tells you that you're doing well multiple times and he or she is just finishing up the questions that he or she needs to ask, right? Due diligence. If they started with really hard technical questions and they got super easy over time, that means you didn't get the questions right, the first questions right. So just for the sake of finishing the interviewer asked you a few easy questions and then let it go, right? That reminds me to tell you that most interviews are super friendly and nice. That doesn't mean anything in terms of how well we're doing. That's just how people are on the interviews, generally speaking. Not everybody. If the interview ended significantly quicker than the allotted time, let's say it was going to be an hour, but the interview ended in 45 minutes, 40 minutes, that's a sign that it didn't go so well. The interviewer didn't want to spend any more time with you, unless, again, the interview made it clear that it's ending early because you did so great, he or she didn't need to ask any more questions. The interview did not spend any time or very less time talking about the next steps. That means he or she doesn't want you to expect a lot from the next interviews because it's not going to happen, right? If the questions are single threaded, what that means is if he or she only talked about certain part of the role, the technical part or the Unix part or the CI/CD part and nothing else, right? If the interviews were going well, he or she would try to get as much signal from you, like this part, this part, the non-technical part, something about agile, so on and so forth, right? If he or she is going to pass you on, he or she would want to know how much you know about all these fundamental pillars of that role, right? But if you didn't pass it, it'll just be some basic questions about one little topic and you're done, right? The more the interview is leaning that way, more you know that it's not going so well, right? One last thing I want to say, I just done it in slides. Now, this is not a great sign because some people are not are introverted, even managers are sometimes. So less eye contact is generally a bad sign, but unless the interviewer himself or herself is introverted. But that's kind of a sign that it's not going well. Okay, I hope you found this video useful, and I wish you luck, and I will see you in the next one.